Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Nurohqomariyyah. I'm from the first group. I would like to present our presentation, and my friend is Meiliana Putri. So, the first is, what is linguistic? Do you know that what is linguistic? First, linguistic is from the word sociology and linguistic. Sociology and linguistic. Sociology is the study of human in society, and it involves the process of human social interaction in society. Sociology is an empirical and scientific analysis of human beings in society and how humans' adaptability to their environment and each culture can become understood in relation to social structure and all social problems in one society. The next is linguistic. Linguistic, as we know that linguistic is the study of language. Or we can say that linguistic, on the other hand, is the study of language, and also linguistic, take language as its object of reference. So it means that linguistic is the study of the interaction between language and setting. According to Carroll and Eastman, 1975. Sociolinguistics is the science of interdisciplinary between sociology and linguistics. Sociology is an important and fascinating language field for students since it discusses how language in the real world is used and thought about. According to the other researcher, Sartu Yasmin 2013, she described that sociolinguistics as science that explore language goals and function in society. According to Sally 2012, sociolinguistics is the interaction between language, culture, and society. It can be easily said that the sociolinguistics is a field interdisciplinary that learn a language to its use in society. Sociolinguistics can be characterized as language research in connection with society. The next is the relevance of linguistics with sociolinguistics. As we know that before, that sociolinguistics is the study between linguistic, nature, language, and society. So the relevance of linguistics with sociolinguistics. According to the researcher, the science that involves itself in language is linguistic. Remember that the science that involves itself in language is linguistic. From the limits of its role and development, language and object of linguistic study is reviewed. The nature of language can be reviewed historically and, among other social elements, provide a particular, separate, and solitary location. And sociolinguistics, however, does not have leave linguistics behind. Remember that. Sociolinguistics, however, does not leave linguistics behind. What is studied in linguistics provides a framework for sociolinguistics to demonstrate variation in social factors related to language usage. Sociolinguistics use the study of phonology, morphology, sentence structure, and lexicon semantic in linguistics to expose the language structure used according to contextually each community of expression. So the linguistic, it is therefore difficult for sociolinguistic. It is difficult for a sociolinguist without knowledge of pure linguistics to learn language. So it is therefore difficult for sociolinguists without knowledge of pure linguistics to learn language. It means that if the linguists not know about the language of the linguistic, it can be difficult for the sociolinguists. The next is the subject of sociolinguistics. There are 4 kinds of connection between language and society, according to Grimshaw, 1971. There are 4 kinds. The first kind is language determines society. The second is sociocultural determine language. The next is covariance between social fact and language. And the last is language and society is determined by other factors such as culture, abstract structure, or biological nature. The next is there are sociolinguistic assumes by Raharjo 2016. He said there are 4 kinds sociolinguistic assumed by him. The first is every language has its own variation. It means that every language it have own variation. Second is every dialect also varied. Every dialect in every language is also varied. The next is human speech is also varied. Varied according to who he is talking to. Language is closely related to social system and social structure. And the last point is language is system. Language is a system which not separate from the characteristic of its speaker and the sociocultural values applied by its speaker. The next is the first sociolinguistic conference taking place at the University of California in Los Angeles in 1964 has defined 7 dimensions in sociolinguistic research. These 7 dimensions are: first, social identity of the speaker; second, the social identity of the listener involved in the communication process; third, the environment of speech even take place; fourth, the syntax and diachronic analysis of the spoken form; fifth, a different social assessment by the speaker of spoken form; sixth, a degree of linguistic variation and diversity; and the last is number 7, the practical application of Sociolinguistics. So I think that's all about my presentation. I'm sorry if there is a lot of mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.